Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa Luck. Nadine has the night off. Cleanup crews spent the morning clearing out a homeless camp near Clark and Ash in Peaceful Valley. All thanks to a viewer who called the KXLY4 newsroom. KXLY4's Brittany Paris working for you tonight with how the city is taking action. And Brittany, thanks in part to that viewer, this camp was shut down and cleared out in just a matter of days.
Them have been trespassed from Riverfront Park for a whole year for things like smoking, and now Spokane police are thinking it may be time to renegotiate those punishments.
We are trying to look at any kind of creative alternative, and if that involves being able to play basketball, to hang out for a few hours, to be able to return back to the park and to have your trespassing order lifted if you participate in this program.
This is one of my first Spokane stops on my night of cop watching with Rockman Al and 420 RU2. Be sure to support them and subscribe to their channels. Links to them and any of my sources used in this video are in the description. Others have contacted me and want to join on some cop watching or auditing as well, and we will be working something out in the near future. I hope you support all of them just like you do me. We saw these two Spokane police officers pull over going against traffic to question these people who are breaking no laws. 420 RU2, Rockman Al and I scrambled to the scene as soon as we could. This was a good warm-up. As you will see, our night gets very interesting. Cop watching is very important, my friends. I notice a high percentage of people getting warnings when I film the police. Something tells me that's not happening at such a high rate when the cameras are not on. These cops let these people go in this incident with no arrests or citations. My issue is, if these people were not breaking any laws, which they didn't appear to be from the street, why did the officers pull over against traffic to question them? It seems to me the only crime these people were suspected of committing was in the eyes of these order followers. You know, that horrible crime of not having a place to call home. If you don't know how this works by now, let me show you this clip from a Slate video with a former Baltimore cop talking about racism and corruption in the Baltimore department. In the end of the clip, he makes a reference about it being about race and socioeconomic status. The point is, they can use anything they really want to start questioning you. If we hadn't been there to film, and the people being questioned didn't know the cops have to have reasonable, articulatable suspicion of a crime to detain them, and they don't have to answer any questions, there's a good chance they end up in cuffs for something and taken to be put in cages. Listen to what the former Baltimore cop says and tell me I'm overblowing it. Keep in mind, the people who develop training methods and standards for law enforcement do it nationwide. This is a nationwide problem because it is a law enforcement problem. It's not a Baltimore or a Spokane problem, it's a USA problem.
To close out our tour, Mike took me to a part of Baltimore that was very different from everything we'd seen so far. A white neighborhood on the north side of town. It's where he was transferred after about 4 years on the force. He found the contrast astonishing. He also found it difficult to make his numbers because all of a sudden he didn't have anyone to arrest. His solution? Drive 2 blocks away to a part of town where he could easily find young black men.
So who would you arrest here? For what? It seems like you need a reason. You were saying earlier that it's arbitrary.
But you don't! That's the thing you're not understanding. So like they were in the street.
That's it?
Enough.
That's enough?
Yeah, jaywalking. Okay, so if they throw a cigarette on the ground, you can do it. And people do those petty arrests. You'll see them. So Freddie Gray being arrested for a spring-loaded pocket knife, you can't tell me that black people carry spring-assisted pocket knives at a greater ratio than white people do. That's or even Hispanics because they're doing the construction sites around here. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Of course we all have I have a spring-assisted pocket knife. Conveniently, legally, there's an exception for police, imagine that. So when you go and you look at the arrest records, what are you going to see? But the people here are carrying spring-assisted pocket knives at the same ratio as the people up there. So we're not focused on the crime of the spring-assisted pocket knife. We're focused on the crime of being black and poor.
usual. Don't be lying. Remember, no one has a higher claim to your life or property than you do. If you also believe no one should initiate force on anyone else that isn't harming another person or their property or defrauding anyone, be careful, you might just believe in the non-aggression principle. If you're law enforcement or believe law enforcement is in general a good thing, if we can just eliminate the bad cops, think about those two statements. Apply them to government and to the thugs it hires to enforce the just and unjust laws on people. Don't think there are such things as unjust laws? Tell that to the people who tried to help free slaves during the days of legal slavery in this country. Just because the law doesn't affect you doesn't mean it's just. If it infringes on any of our inherent rights, it's unjust. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe to Rockman Al and 420RU2 and support them and anyone who has the courage to stand up to order followers and put them on camera. Thank you all for all the support, and keep an eye out for the rest of my videos from our night of cop watching. They only get better from here on out. Thanks for checking out another Questionable Authority video. Feel free to share our content with everyone you know to get the word out. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well to stay connected. Links are in the description and on the screen now. Until next time, question everything and be a positive influence on somebody's life each and every day. It's as simple as a smile as you pass by.